Okay, students. I think it's been a while since our last meeting, since Cikgu Rahman take over the English class. Okay, and I'm also glad that he is conducting and in charge for the SPM English class. Okay, I think he's better than me. Okay, in terms of communication, in terms of understanding, in terms of arrangement of note and explanation. Okay, I just relieve him today for today's only. Okay, saya hanya gantikan untuk sesi malam ini saja. I hope we can communicate and working together for this night for almost one hour. Okay, students, we are going to continue Cikgu Rahman, your sir, your teacher, the discussion from the last week document. Okay, last week you punya perbincangan, not last week, the previous week. Last week you guys had an exam, right? Yeah, ada exam kan? So the previous week. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Okay. Okay, students, based on the document that already posted and shared in the WhatsApp group, okay, the same document that we are referring to the unit 9. Okay, and I've been using, okay, we are still using the same document that used by your teacher, Cikgu Rahman. Okay, you can see there's marking there and some editing from him. Okay, so can we just continue to the next one? So I've been told by him that right now supposed to be we are at page 87. Okay, sepatutnya hari ini kita akan bermula pada muka surat 87. Okay, students, right now the question will be paper 1 part 5. Okay, so this is the last part for your English paper 1. Kan, untuk kertas 1 ini adalah soalan bahagian terakhir. So we can see there the type of question is matching information transfer. Okay, matching. So currently I'm still not used to this application, PDF reader. Okay, I'm not really using this one previously, so we just skip this one. So so welcome to Utah. That's the title. Matching information transfer. Okay, the question already predicted. The type of question. Okay, the form of the question usually will be in the graphical presented. Okay, dalam bentuk persembahan grafik macam ni, lebih kurang lah, kind of. Okay, so as you know already, this one will be one of the easiest question in this paper. Satu soalan yang lebih kurang senang kan. Okay, you just have to fill up all the answers. Saya pun dah pernah buat banyak kali kan. Maybe with your teacher at school as well. But there are some tricky and confusing here yang korang kena hati-hati. Student that you have to be careful and be alert. Korang kena betul-betul peka, hati-hati. Sometimes you may overconfident and you may misfill up. Korang boleh tersalah isi. So hati-hati ya. Kadang-kadang sometimes you are misunderstand the categorization here. Boleh tersalah faham kat situ kan. So careful. Okay, I can see the level here is already upgraded compared to the page 3 and form 4. Okay, which is the text is quite longer. Okay, the text are already longer than the previous years, okay, compared to form 4 and form 3. And of course, the context itself. Maksudnya pengisian tajuk ataupun tema tentang cerita dalam petikan tersebut usually will be challenging. Yalah, kalau korang tengok petikan sendiri pun, if you look carefully, we are not even been in Utah yet. Kita tak pernah pergi Utah pun. Belum pernah pergi lagi. Maybe we are not going there at all. Kan, Utah ni one of the city in the USA. Kan, kalau maybe some of you have been watching some movies in the television, so maybe you might recognize or heard or found the word of Utah City, Bandar Utah. I'm not really sure which state or which province it is. So, but I can hear when we are reading some of the currency here, we can assume that Utah City is closer to the rural area, ataupun kita boleh panggil kawasan pedalaman. Okay, compared to the busy city, okay, around the USA city. Okay. So, students, we're going to answer this question, okay, and after that we will continue to paper 2. We will continue to paper 2. Since I got a request from your Cik Rahman, and maybe he thought that if we have some extra time after the discussion of part 5, he asked me to emphasize about your writing tips, writing steps, your writing skills, your writing understanding, your basic of writing. Biasanya dia kata framework lah. Dia kata macam mana nak bina sebuah rangka karangan. Macam mana kalau you nak, when you are reading the question, before you start your starting to put down your pen and start to write, what you have to do. We must plan what we should write. Itu yang sebenarnya dia nak tekankan. Okay, okay. Everything is about a plan. Semua tentang sebuah rancangan ataupun sebuah draft. So I will skip the paper 1 part 1, paper 2 part 1. So question 1 will be skipped, and after that question 2 as well. Okay, I'll skip this one. Okay, saya akan skip yang bagian ini. So we're going to continue for part 3. Since the word longer compared to the other both of the question. Tengok question 1 is about only 80 words, question 2 150, and question 3 250. So we are focusing more about this one. So why we should have a frame of writing? Kenapa kita kena ada rangka karangan? Daripada sekolah rendah, since you guys primary school, cikgu ajar buat rangka karangan, pendahuluan, isi. Okay, totally, okay, honestly guys, saya pun tak suka rangka karangan. Okay, I really disagree with the technique of rangka karangan. Okay, used within the BM technique. Okay, itu subjek bahasa Melayu, teknik bahasa Melayu. But the function is very important. Okay, the technique maybe will be different and will be very among students. Mungkin ada student dia cara dia buat rangka karangan tu berbeza. So yes, the framework is up to you, but the framework should be there. Rangka karangan kena ada. Tak kisahlah bentuk macam mana. You don't have really to follow your teacher's framework just like in secondary and primary school. Tak perlu ikut sebiji pun sebenarnya. Itu hanyalah contoh actually to guide and train us. Okay, okay. So we will discuss about this question later. Okay, so better we finish this one first. Okay, faster. Welcome to Utah, everyone. So I would like to skip everything here. Okay, saya nak skip. Actually, there are some words, not really some. There are several and many words actually that you have to really emphasize and you have to highlight here. Orang kena, you have to be alert that some of the terms that may be quite new for you. Ada berbagai perkataan yang mungkin kamu tak pernah dengar. For example, this one, anthropology. Okay, what else? I can see exhilaration. Okay, solitude. Okay, the science century. Okay. So let's go to the question directly. Okay, no more than one word. That's all. So, kita hanya ada satu perkataan sahaja. Okay, students. Okay, anyone would like to suggest me the answer? Okay, geographical information, 80,000 square miles, 80,000 kaki persegi. Okay, so ada mempunyai apa ni? Taman negeri, 43 taman negeri, punya lah banyak. Bukan taman negara ya. Kalau taman negara, national park. Kalau taman negeri, state park. Lebih kurang macam tu lah. Sign. Okay, number one. Siapa nak cadangkan jawapan? Anyone would like to suggest the answer? Okay. Saya nak skip terus ni. Korang terus cari maklumat. You just directly refer to the passage and transfer the information. Transfer the answer. So I can see wait, yeah. Sorry guys, my kid asked for rice. Then he asked for dinner. Okay, continue. Wait, uh, I need some time because my son just shut down my computer. I I need to this. I need to boot my laptop first. Wait, ah. Okay, guys. While waiting for me to prepare all the things for our discussion, so try to figure out the rest of the answer for that question. Tolong cek jawapan. Untuk jawapan untuk bandar Utah tersebut. Dari segi geografi, dari segi dia punya facilities, dari segi apa sahaja, korang tengok betul-betul. Guys, look carefully. Okay. Okay, provide your answer in the in-call message platform. Tolong letak jawapan kamu dekat platform in-call message tersebut. So we are meeting back. Okay. We are on the track back. So I'm okay, let me prepare the document first. Okay, there we are. Okay, students, I think we are already on the track back. Okay. So, yeah, I think I already shared the document. Still in the process. Wait. I'm sharing. Where's the sharing? Okay, your screen is still visible. All right. So it took some time. Okay, that is it. Okay. Okay, students, Utah. Okay. You can see based on the question here, geographical information, outdoor recreation, tourist attraction, and science-based centers. Okay. So please look carefully at the category categorization, at the category topic. Kamu nampak sini dia beri sini maklumat geografi, mempunyai apa, bla bla bla. Outdoor recreation, what is okay, what are they? Then tourist attraction and science-based center. I think the categorization is not really difficult to figure out. Okay, besides the rest of the answer also really provide students what are the hints. Okay, where can we get those answers? Kita boleh dapat sebenarnya dalam petikan, not really difficult. And in fact, the question already asked you not more than one word, satu perkataan. Jadi, adalah susah mana kan? Okay, let's see what is the words. What are those words? So, question number one. Okay. Any student suggest anything? Okay. Since we already, okay, let me check in here first. Message. Is there any suggestion? Oh no, there's no one provide any answer. Korang takkan senyap je, tak ada apa jawapan ke? Students? Number 1, 7. Okay, 7. Okay, thank you very much. 7. Yeah, where is it? Where is the 7? There. I don't know how to use this one. I need to learn this one later. Like Cikgu Rahman, he can do all the things here by using this one. Okay, just never mind. Select. So students, so the word is 7. Okay, you can see just next to the word 43. Number 43 said 7 national monuments. So okay, the first answer is 7. Second answer 5 what? What areas there? What is in these areas? Okay. I think also not so far from the 7. 5 recreation areas. So the second answer is recreation. Recreation. Okay. Yes, recreation. Okay, at the last line of the second paragraph, recreation. And then number 3. Tengok number 3. Jom number 3. So outdoor recreation. So right now, we are entering the different category. Outdoor recreation. Okay, aktiviti rekreasi lasak lah. Outdoor recreation ni lasak lah. Okay. So where is it? So number desert solitude. So the answer here are not really in sequence. Korang jawapan-jawapan dia ni tak terletak ikut turutan tau. Untuk number 1, for number 1, number 2, you can find the answer at the second paragraph. But for outdoor recreation, if you look carefully, the first outdoor recreation ni, activity outdoor ni, aktiviti luar ni, desert solitude ni, backcountry ni, dinosaur, backcountry dengan desert solitude ni ada kat first paragraph. Look carefully at the first paragraph. Okay, you can see at the second line, first paragraph at the second line. Whether you seek the desert solitude, yeah. Solitude ni maksudnya terpencil ataupun kawasan yang tak ada orang. Okay, sunyi. Okay, ialah maksudnya padang pasir yang sunyi lah. Terpencil kan, okay. Or high altitude acceleration. Acceleration ni keterujaan, keseronokan. High altitude ni kawasan tinggi lah. A peaceful backcountry hike. Hike apa? Hike tu mendaki kan. Backcountry ni apa? Kawasan luar bandar yang tak ramai orang. Yang sunyi kan, biasa orang panjat bukit, panjat gunung. Kan? Okay, so hike tu orang apa? Merentas hutan kan. So tak kawasan backcountry ni. Okay, dia lagi terpencil daripada kawasan kampung. Tak ramai orang So that's a peaceful, pun tenang. So of course that's peaceful because there are not so many community there. So okay, so dinosaur discovery and American Indian exploration. So everything for second category, for number 3 and number 4, we can discover the answer at the first paragraph. Okay, so backcountry hike. So number 3, the word is hike. H-I-K-E. Hike, H-I-K-E. What is the meaning of hike? What's a hike? Boleh kata macam daki lah kan. Hiking kan. Yeah. Okay. So, then the number 4, you can see the word American Indian. Exploration. Okay, American Indian exploration. Okay, siapa yang tak ingat American Indian, lebih kurang macam ada Indian lah. Kan. So, American Indian exploration. Maksudnya orang boleh explore kawasan-kawasan Indian. American Indian exploration. Okay, penerokaan, pengembaraan. So, exploration. So, number 5, tourist attraction, Bryce Canyon. Okay, that's the word. Okay, students, if I got some of the words that mispronunciation, okay, sorry on behalf of me. Yeah, I just guessed the word, maybe Bryce or Bryce, I'm not really sure, Bryce Canyon. So number 5, okay, tourist attraction, tarikan pelancong. Okay, let's see. Apa lagi tarikan pelancong? Okay, what else there? You can found in the text the Bryce Canyon. Canyon maksudnya lebih kurang macam lurah ataupun saya lupa lah dia bahasa. Canyon lah. Grand Canyon tu lebih kurang macam kawasan batu-batu yang tu tak guna apa Canyon. Lebih kurang lurah lah kan. Kawasan lurah kan, Canyon. Okay. Okay, where's the word? Okay, Breeze Canyon. So Breeze Canyon. Okay, home to Breeze Canyon, Arches, Canyonlands, and Capitol Reef National Parks. Oh, ada taman negara ya, nama dia Capitol Reef. Dekat Utah ni pun ada taman negara ya, faham. Okay. Kita ada taman negara, ada taman negeri banyak eh. Okay. So the word here, you see, okay, there are two words, okay, between Breeze Canyon and Capitol Reef National Parks. So of course, that both of the words are here. The first word is okay, the Burn Canyon. Okay, at the second paragraph as well. So canyon, Arches and Canyonland. So number 5 is Arches, number 6 is Canyonlands. Okay. Itu semua adalah nama-nama kawasan permukaan bumi yang sesuai untuk adventure ya. Dipanggil sebagai tourist attraction ni. Ini adalah plural name tau, kata nama khas. Kawasan-kawasan untuk pelancongan. So maybe what is Arches korang akan tengok. Adakah di kawasan panah? I don't think so. Tapi kata ada macam archery ya, Arches, tapi I don't think that this is about memanah. It's a plural name ya. It's a plural name. Sorry, not plural name. Apa kita pakai kata nama khas tu? Proper name. Proper noun. It's a proper noun. Kata nama khas ya. So maksudnya kat sini there's a something here, okay? You can see Breeze Canyon is canyon. Okay, Capitol Reef National Park ni taman negara. Canyonland ni mungkin berkaitan dengan canyon juga, kawasan lurah, kawasan macam batu-batuan, pergunungan batu-batuan And what is Arches? You have to find yourself what is Arches. Okay, korang tengok sini yang benda. So next we go to the answer for 7 and 8. So Science Base Center. Okay, Science Base Center ni, okay, these terms actually I think we cannot found in the text. There are no any words about Science Base Center. But actually that word is actually refer to the first line of the third paragraph. Okay, Utah welcomes 3 new science centric. Science centric ni maksudnya okay, at the first line of the third paragraph. Okay, baris pertama perenggan ketiga. Utah welcomes okay, menyambut, meraihkan. Okay, new ni okay, benda yang baru, 3 benda yang baru destinasi baru, 3 destinasi baru. Apa dia? Science centric, maksudnya pusat destinasi yang bersifat sains. Centric ni berasal kata center, pusat. Center, pusat kan. Okay, so for families. So itu maksudnya kat sini. Okay, that's why you can see from the question, the first here is Quarry Visitor Center. Pusat melawat kuari kuari. Tahu kuari tak? Batu tau kuari. Kuari ni batu. Biasa kuari ni tempat orang tempat orang pecahkan batu untuk jadikan batu berjalan, batu rumah. Pusat kuari di mana datang batu-batu dan juga batu rumah, batu raya tu. Okay, dia ada berasal daripada pusat kuari. Okay, so Quarry Visitor Center at Dinosaur National Monument. Okay, ni dia. Okay, kat sini rupanya ada Dinosaur National Monument. Okay, provide access to the world famous Wall of Bones. Kat sini pasal tulang. Rupa-rupanya kat sini pasal tulang, bukan pasal kuari. Okay. So Wall of Bones kalau kamu tahu kenapa panggil Wall of Bones, sebab kat sini ada cliff wall. Patutlah ada kata kuari. Sebab cliff wall ni adalah dinding, kalau korang tengok cliff wall dinding, kalau korang tengok dekat tepi laut, yang tebing tinggi tepi laut tu. Kalau kau tengok laut, tempat orang jatuh bawah tinggi kan. Itu panggil cliff tu. Cliff wall di mana kat situ kenapa dipanggil dinosaur? Sebab rupanya kawasan pergunungan atau kawasan bukit berbatu tu, kat situ banyak fosil dinosaur, thousand of fossil still embedded, masih lagi tertanam. Rupanya bukan laut, rupanya dekat lake, tasik. So tasik ni besar. Okay, tasik tu besar sampai ada boleh macam ada tebing bukit tinggi yang macam tepi laut. Itu dipanggil cliff wall. So kat situ dia ada apa tu? Ni apa? Quarry Visitor Center dekat Dinosaur National Monument. Okay. So what is the answer there? Dia dah satu perkataan sini ya, benda ni ya. Apa ni? Apa ni? To the wall of bones. Ke tempat wall of bone. Benda ni. What is the word? Access. Access ni maksudnya ACCESS. Access ni maksudnya laluan, kemasukan. Bila kita pergi Kuala Visitor Center ni, okay, dekat Dinosaur National Monument ni besar. Okay. Apa? Monumen Dinosaur Kebangsaan dalam bahasa Melayu. Okay, macam tugu negara, monumen monumen tu tugu perikatan Okay. So monumen kat sini lebih kurang macam tu lah. Monumen Dinosaur National Monumen Kebangsaan Dinosaur macam tu. Lebih kurang lah, I just kind of translation. Okay. In that monument, in the very big place, there are one of the building there, okay, named as the Quarry Visitor Center. So when you were entering this place, we can see lot of wall of bones. Kita akan nampak banyak benda yang berkaitan dengan dinding tulang-tulang. Yang mana world famous tau. World famous. Maksudnya bukannya korang pergi situ korang boleh nampak I'm not really sure when I'm reading this one. Korang bukannya pergi kat tebing tersebut. Itu macam satu bangunan yang dalam tu banyak information pasal itu, gambar, orang buat lakaran, mungkin orang buat mungkin ada 3D ke apa ke, maybe perhaps like that. So you feel like you are being there. So maksudnya dia macam buat museum situ kan. Okay. Macam museum lah di situ kan. Okay. Okay, what else there? Okay. National History Museum, okay, blah blah blah, anthropology. The Leonardo, wow, the word of Leonardo enable visitors to explore what? Okay, let's find the word. Okay, the keyword of Leonardo. Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, I can see here. Okay, at the second last line of the third paragraph, the Leonardo, a stylish and ambitious attraction. Stylish attraction, ambitious attraction. Yang mana the visitors can explore science, technology and art. Okay. Bila pergi tempat nama Leonardo ni, okay, pengunjung boleh apa tu? Explore what? Okay, explore blah, technology and art. Okay. Science, technology and art. Okay, that's why I can see the word of Leonardo. Maksudnya digabungkan tiga benda dari segi saintifik, dari segi teknologi dan juga kesenian. Okay, I think maybe the word also inspired by the name of the Leonardo da Vinci. Maybe some of you know who is Leonardo da Vinci. The human that I don't want to talk anymore about him because he invent a lot of things, his ideas, and banyak sebenarnya informasi pasal Leonardo da Vinci ni. It's not about art only, it's about technology as well, about scientific. Dia juga melukis badan manusia yang bentuk macam, kalau korang pernah tengok yang macam ni, manusia macam tangan macam ni, kaki terbuka macam tu, orang panggil apa? Kerata rentas badan manusia, human anatomy. I think yes. Itu adalah Leonardo da Vinci juga, dia punya idea. That's why I think that place name as Leonardo. Okay, let's continue. We have about half an hour. Lebih kurang lagi setengah jam, kind of. So I think that's all our answer. Okay, the answer for number is science. Number 7 is tadi apa? Access. Okay. Okay. So let's go to the next question, paper 2. Okay, as I introduced to you guys just now, okay, I'm going to straight to the last question of this paper. The third question, the optional question. We have 3 options, question 3, 4, and 5. So, student, okay, before we choose the question, dengar betul korang? Sebelum korang pilih soalan, before you choose. Okay, of course lah, kena baca betul-betul kan? Takkan nak rembat je. Kan? Main pilih kan? Okay. I know that maybe some of you that there's kita panggil tendency, kecenderungan, preference, maybe some of you, maybe most of you adalah kalangan korang ni malah fikir cikgu, kita orang buat cerita lah, kita orang hentam lah cerita tu macam mana kan. Okay, yes, okay, I agree with some of students that might be have problem with the vocabulary. Kadang-kadang ada separuh pelajar memang lemah English. Okay, some of you very weak in English. So you have the problem of limitation of vocabulary. Korang ada masalah vocabulary yang limit. So I don't want to blame you if you just directly choose soalan story. Okay, I can see the question of story is at question number 4. So soalan keempat lah soalan story. Sometimes story ni kadang-kadang nombor 5. Okay, so it is not really stick. So it can be changed. Okay, dia boleh berubah. So kadang-kadang mungkin story nombor 3, mana tahu kan, question number 3. So which one that, okay, so before that, about story. Okay, students, let me remind you, okay, for those who actually not really bad in English, mungkin level korang C. Okay, maybe you know that your English about 50 something, okay, about 40 something. Okay, I would like to suggest you, if you really think that story is easiest one, maybe you should rethink over, korang patut fikir balik. Okay, before you totally decide that, please familiarize yourself with the question, the rest of the 2 questions. Biasakan diri korang tengok balik question number 3 and question number 5. Think again, betul-betul, tengok betul. Okay, jadikan story ni is your last, kita panggil your last resort, your last choice. When you have no more choice, no more choice, tak tahu nak pilih. Macam susah je nombor 3 ni. I think number 5, I don't know what to do. I don't know what is the example of herbal medicine. I don't know how to kita panggil define, give the definition. I don't know what. Okay. Kalau dah tak tahu serabut sangat, so you just straight to the story. If that happen, but I would like to demand, I would like to suggest and I propose to most of you, kalau boleh, cuba jangan just straight to the story. Tolong baca betul number 3 and number 5. Ataupun the rest of the both question. Lagi 2 soalan tengok betul. Okay, and bagi saya, okay, mungkin tajuk hari ni, the today's topic, herbal medicine is not really good. It's kind of bad luck. Okay, herbal medicine. Saya rasa tak ramai at your level of age yang tahu what is herbal medicine. So it's kind of really tricky, yang maybe some student yang very good in English or got some vocabularies can explain, can use this one. Bagi saya question number 5 of the type of question number 5 is the easiest one. Korang tak perlu fikir plot, you don't have to fikir watak, you don't have to fikir the event. Okay, you don't have to fikir apa sebelum event, apa climate event. Itu story, semua story kalau boleh kena ada macam tu. But karangan fakta, you just give the definition, apa kebaikan, apa fungsi dia, tujuan dia, senangnya. Okay, dan remember students, okay, saya nak beritahu betul, tolong buang persepsi karangan BM. Students, please remove the perception of BM essay when you are answering English essay. Yes, karangan BM korang kena ada fakta, idea, mengapa, bagaimana, kesan. Korang kena ada ungkapan. Sometimes you must have your penegasan, which means that your, kita panggil apa, penutup for each paragraph kan, macam tu. Tapi English essay is totally open. Okay, karangan English adalah bebas. Okay, for example, kalau question number 5 ni, kita katalah tajuk dia pasal grade school, sekolah yang hebat. Okay, contoh. So kamu kena buat artikel tentang apa itu sekolah yang hebat. So I think that's really bonus to you guys. Orang boleh tulis apa sahaja yang kau nak tulis. Kau tak payah nak tulis, walaupun ini adalah artikel ataupun karangan fakta, rencana, you don't have to really follow the format. Kena ada isi pertama, kena ada contoh, kena urai, kena buat. No. English essay is all about free writing. Okay? Okay. Itu yang saya nak tekan kat korang. Okay. Okay. Bagi saya, story is a very linked writing. Tulisan yang berkait. Which means is a flowing writing. Tulisan yang ada flow, yang berkait rapat. Kalau terlepas satu akan tergantung. So that's is flowing writing. That's why I suggest story have the advantage but also have the weakness. Ada kelebihan tapi ada kelemahan. Okay, tapi kalau karangan yang bukan story, dia ada kelebihan dia juga. Okay, so you are free to write anything. Okay, tak ada masalah pun. Perenggan tu pendek, perenggan ni panjang. So tak ada masalah. That's not the problem. Itu kelebihan bila buat karangan when you are writing a fact essay for English. Okay. So samalah macam ni. Okay, ini nampak review Korang tengok soalan nombor 3 ni Okay. Okay, you are recently saw this notice in the magazine. Kau nampak ini ada iklan dekat dalam majalah. Okay, reviews required. Did you visit any good restaurant lately? Kau ada tak melawat mana-mana restoran lately? Okay, kau hentam lah buat KFC ke McD ke kan? Okay, tapi jangan bagi nama KFC McD, kau bagi nama lain. You just create, okay, you just create any title of the restaurant, any name of the restaurant, but you just provide the similar things like McD or KFC or Starbucks or anything and restaurant that you are really familiar with. Korang dah biasa pergi. Send your restaurant review. Say what you enjoy about the restaurant. Cakaplah ada wifi, boleh tengok bola 24 hours. Guys, this thing happen to you every day. Your life is going around this one. Benda ni senang. Korang tak pernah bayangkan macam korang nak kena buat cerita tu. Kan dah buat cerita ni, padam balik, potong. Sudah. Okay. Contohnya korang tak tahu word tersebut. Skip lah pasal betul, cari benda lain pula. That's how it means free writing. Tapi kalau cerita, kalau korang terlupa perkataan tersebut, you don't know what is that word, then you want to find another solution or another alternative. Dah cerita berubah. This I'm trying to deliver, trying to explain to guys. Okay. So that's the introduction about the option, about the choosing. Okay, bila kamu nak memilih. Okay. Okay. Jom, let's go to the next part. Okay. Going to show you this one. Okay. Okay. Since Cikgu Rahman said about the framework, so basically tak kisahlah pilih soalan nombor 3 ke or the question 4 or question 5. Okay, what is the kita panggil skema lah ataupun proper sequence kita panggil preparation. Maksudnya bila masuk exam untuk paper 2, when you sit down, so you got the paper. So what you have to do? So I'm turning the page. So I don't know which one. Okay, I want to skip question 1 and question 2. I want to complete the question 3 first. Never mind. So maybe I already read the question 1. So I just already listed down everything. Okay, what I'm going to say about question 1 about the email. So right now, question 2. I also listed down everything that I'm going to touch and to explain the question 2. So right now question 3. Okay, part 3. Sekarang ni part 3. So after thorough reading, so I think I would like to choose the safest one maybe for me. Ini saya bayangkan maybe in situation in the exam. So the safest one, yang paling selamat, yang play safe. Okay, lebih kurang macam kita nak main macam rasa macam tak nak terlalu berisiko. Okay, I don't want to put a very big risk. So I think I would like to choose question 3, for example. Soalan yang restoran macam boleh sembang, macam boleh gembang restoran ni kan. Macam tu kan. Rasa boleh kot. Okay. Or maybe you choose 4 or 5, anything lah. So what is the first step? Okay, apa yang kita kena? Of course lah, you have to read everything. After you understand everything, after you decide, you have already totally decide what you want to choose. Okay, about the decision, bila korang buat keputusan, okay, sometimes this might be happen. Kadang-kadang sudah ada rasa macam ni tau. Maybe some of you yes, maybe some of you not. Okay, maybe for those yang pernah ada rasa macam ni, mula-mula dah pilih nombor 3, dan terus-terus macam susah lah. Tukar nombor 4 pula. Okay, why this could be happen? Kenapa benda ni boleh terjadi? How to avoid that? Okay, maksudnya korang tak ada strong tau. Ataupun you just you just discover that your choice is wrong. Okay, students, there is no wrong choice. Sebenarnya tak ada pilihan yang salah. Okay, kalau nak tahu kamu pilih betul ke salah, it's all about your preparation. Kalau student yang rasa dia pilih salah ke betul ke, sebenarnya totally saya cakap you guys lack of training. Kurang latihan. Itu masuk latihan. It's not about training writing. Training writing of course lah, memang kurang, most of you yang memang kurang latihan English pun lah. I know. Tak ramai student sini yang banyak berlatih bahasa English kan. Okay. But the point is you lack of training in reading the question. Korang ragu-ragu nak buat mana satu, nak pilih mana satu. Sebab korang jarang baca soalan. So you guys rarely or maybe seldom read the question and have the experience in making decision. Nak pilih mana satu. That's it. That's the risk. Itulah risikonya. You're not really sure about yourself. So please avoid that. So lepas ni apa yang saya cakap ni, lepas ni pergilah banyak baca soalan English. Sorry my kids. Wait. Korang ni. Okay, students, right now, so we are going to imagine that what are we supposed to do when we get the question. Okay, when we already put our decision. Okay, for example, we decide to choose number 3, question number 3. Okay, just now I explain and share you about your miss choice ataupun tersalah pilih soalan. Okay, so sometimes because of lack of reading question, korang rasa soalan ni macam senang, tapi rupanya bila buat cari isi susah. Okay, that's why I said is you have to this kind of technique. Maksudnya korang kena ada satu teknik yang dapat soalan korang nak buat apa. So actually when you have this kind of frame, you can imagine, when you reading question 3, what is the framework? When you reading question 4, what is the framework? When you reading question 5, what is the framework? You can imagine. And when you are imagining this thing, and you will think, I think number 3 is, I will get more. Okay, so some students, there are another situation. Yang mana dia not really sure which one to choose. Dia cuba buat untuk tiga-tiga, mana yang paling yang banyak dia dapat. Mungkin that kind of technique also available. Mungkin boleh. Okay, mungkin boleh juga yang mana bila dibandingkan tiga-tiga framework ni rasanya macam untuk framework ni dia rasa lebih susah untuk soalan number 4. Story lagi senang. Terpulang. Okay, up to you. Okay, based on your you punya rasa keseriaan what do you feel about the question? Okay, let's go. Okay. Kan cikgu sekolah dulu kan, your teachers explain. Nak buat rangkul kena ada intro kan. Nak kena ada intro kan. Yes. Ada intro. Kenapa intro ni? Okay, ini yang masalah intro ni. Bila students yang tak ada intro, tak akan ada apa intro dalam your framework. You apa itu apa akan jadi? Ketika buat intro, jangan pandang mereka ulang balik. Dekat intro dah masa yang lama. So that's why intro is very important. So you must know what you have to put in the intro. So masa intro ni maksudnya you don't have perlu. Okay guys, sorry. So the introduction so you have to decide what you will, whether you will put in your introduction. Okay. Okay. For question, so introduction since about the review untuk restoran. So terus decide. So maksudnya terus restoran, the name. Name of the restaurant. So name, location, ataupun dia punya dia punya business time okay, business time, open bila, tutup bila kan. Okay, lepas tu dia punya type of cuisine. Okay, dia punya cuisine dia. Okay, cuisine dia cuisine macam tu. So introduction. Okay, ataupun you dah berapa lama you pergi. So tu dia punya years, dah berapa tahun dah. Okay, dia punya years. Okay, background ke anything lah, owner ke apa ke, terus letak macam tu. So daripada sini lah you akan fikir, you takkan you will not lost. Apa lagi so dia will avoid you from loss. Apa tu dia pergi padahal balik. Janganlah, you don't want to waste our time like that. So for example number 4, okay, story so bila story okay, ini story. Sorry, tadi ni review so ni review of the restaurant. Okay, so number 4. So number 4, tadi story okay, so story. So the story is about what? Okay, let's see the question. Okay, the story is about the unexpected day. Okay, your teacher has asked you to write a story for a school magazine. The story must have the title Unexpected Day. Hari yang tak dijangka. The story should include a description of the day. Cerita kamu mesti masukkan keperihalan ataupun detail apa yang berlaku pada hari tersebut, bagaimana ia berakhir. Okay, unexpected day Okay, so maybe kat sini ada beberapa permulaan story. So kat sini you have to decide how to start. Okay, first, siapa yang nak buat story, kamu kena banyak baca contoh story. Because there are so many ways to start a story. Ada cara nak menggunakan story menggunakan dialog. Ada cara story menggunakan dia refer pada iklan. Ada cara story dia buat flashback. That's the interesting ways to start your story, introduction. Ada story dia menggunakan common ways, cara yang biasa, iaitu apa dia? Dia menggunakan tema atau topik, unexpectedly. Ada cara story dia menggunakan word unexpected. Contohnya, ada story dia starting menggunakan karakter. Ada story yang menggunakan incident, peristiwa. So kat situ you kena decide which one, how to start. Bila you tak tahu benda ni, so story you akan baru intro. So nanti dari segi karakter, dari segi plot, dari segi apa benda side karakter, apa benda semua, itu semua dekat second paragraph, how your story develop, berkembang, macam tu. Okay, so mereka kat sini mungkin menggunakan cara flashback, okay, ataupun menggunakan cara from the experience, okay, atau menggunakan incident, okay, ataupun from the definition, atau from the theme of the question, berkaitan dengan tema, okay, theme, ataupun berkaitan dengan word, daripada word tu sendiri, okay, you describe the word, okay, so itu how to start. Okay, so kita tengok dekat soalan nombor 5. Okay, let's see question number 5. Okay, articles, herbal medicine. Okay, what is herbal medicine? Okay, article, Okay, so article memang karangan fakta. Okay, so introduction to herbal medicine. Okay, memandangkan artikel ni adalah sebuah karangan fakta. Actually, article means rencana. It means that it's a fact essay, but in terms of formative presentation, yang dipersembahkan dalam bentuk format, yang mana dimasukkan dalam magazine, dalam surat khabar, dia adalah sebuah artikel, ada penulis, okay, ada tajuk, so itu masuk artikel rencana, okay, but the frame or the presentation of the text is totally similar to factual or ataupun pendapat, opinion essay, macam karangan fakta kita buat untuk BM, usaha langkah-langkah, kesan-kesan kebaikan, kind of, okay, lebih kurang sama. So usually dalam introduction dia, we have common intro. Okay, common intro maksudnya, which means that general intro related to the herbal and medicine. Yeah. So benda ni kena decide dulu betul. So bukannya saya bayangkan yang korang kena tulis masa essay. Bila tengok soalan dah bayangkan. So intro nak buat macam ni. Saya baru sentuh pasal intro. Belum masuk lagi nanti untuk conclusion soalan. Kelas dah masuk dah. So at least today, okay, even you guys are just going to meet me and we will going to finish our meeting here, at least I can provide you some tips how to start choosing, deciding, making a framework, making the plan for your answer. At least dapat intro pun jadilah. Sekurang-kurangnya you know how to simplify and avoid any mistake when you are trying to answer the essay. Itu yang paling penting. And starting ni nak elakkan gemuruh. Kan? Nak elakkan unconfident. Perasaan ketidakyakinan tu memang biasanya berlaku pada student yang tak ready. Pada student yang tak jangka, soal je ni So jangan panik. Okay. Bila you kena pegang you punya frame ni. Kalau dah tahu dah, kalau soalan macam ni, nak buat macam ni. Saya tak kata macam ni yang ni untuk review. Korang boleh guna benda ni, korang boleh masukkan review ni, korang boleh masukkan dekat story. Boleh? Tengoklah tajuk story tersebut. Korang boleh mulakan story korang dengan macam ni. Boleh? Siapa kata tak boleh? Jadi you masuk second paragraph, barulah you cerita. You start give your point. Siapa kata tak boleh? This is a free writing. Students, there is not at all about formative essay dalam English. Kecuali lah kalau speech, ucapan tahulah memang kata-kata aluan tu kena ada kan. You have your salutation, your greetings. Kan? Of course lah kena ada talk semua kan. Lain lah. Tapi kalau report ke atau lain. Tapi kalau soalan lebih kurang macam ni, about review, about opinion. Okay. Hopefully, my sharing here today, at least at much or anything, could be a very useful information for you in the future. Hopefully, that's all. Okay, thank you very much, guys. I think I'm going to stop the class. Terima kasih banyak-banyak. Okay, good night. Okay, hopefully everything will work out fine for you guys. So see you later. So next week you're going to have the class with Cikgu Rahman as usual. Okay, macam biasa semua. Okay, that's all. Bye. Okay, guys, you may dismiss. You may leave the class. Thank you very much. Okay, bye.
Terima kasih, Cikgu.
Okay, before that, siapa yang tak tulis nama, please make sure you already put everything. Rekodkan hadiran your attendance. Okay, bye. Sama-sama. You're welcome.
Thank you, teacher.
Welcome. Okay, salam sejahtera. Bye. Good night, everyone. Okay, see you later in the future.